Is it too weird to say Death Stranding a bunch of times in the microphone? What up, viewers? What up? What up? Today is Friday, November 8th, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. Like I said in my little intro, this weird game has finally come out. It's become almost a meme at this point of just how weird Death Stranding has looked and felt since we've known about it for like 2.5 or 3 years now. Gosh, it's been that long. Yeah, I just wanted to, as my intro, I just wanted to like say Death Stranding into a microphone a bunch of times because to try and like equal or be somewhere around the weirdness that is Death Stranding. So the game's finally out. Game launches today, or launched today, last night, and I've started to look at a lot of gameplay, and there's pretty much nothing else to talk about this week. But Death Stranding's out, and I'm still going to talk about stuff. So the game is launched with an 83 Metacritic. I started seeing reviews about the end of last week, and it was somewhere in the low 80s. So, you know, the game's being received somewhat well, and the reviews have been kind of hit or miss, actually. And just so gameplay is finally out, and it sounds like you were a glorified mailman. That's kind of what I've been putting together. I don't want to boil down the game to just that, but you know, I do like to label things. That's kind of my job sometimes. So I just wanted to label it like, yeah, you're a glorified mailman. You're playing as Norman Reedus, running around in this open world setting, moving boxes from one side of the map to the other, and the game looks amazing. I saw a PS4 to PS4 Pro video comparison of gameplay, and the game looks gorgeous. The game just looks amazing. So I'll give them that. The game looks amazing. As far as everything I've known about Death Stranding prior to about a week ago, it's just been it's got a bunch of big name actors. It's got Guillermo del Toro in it, and it's about this guy who carries a baby around. And then even when we got like 20-minute character introduction trailers, I didn't know what was going on. So now that we're finally seeing it, it sounds like I read one review talking about how the game is just a series of fetch quests. So, you know, if that's what you're into, that's perfectly cool. It sounds like it's gonna be a really cool game. I just think that Hideo Kojima is actually he's really good at marketing, and I think that is kind of shown through in this game. The whole time for 2.5, 3 years, we've been saying, what is this game? What is this game? I want to know more. And I think people might just buy the game because they're curious as to what the game is about. And I'll be honest, I'm almost in that point that I'm like curious enough to just like play it to see if it's, you know, if it's something that I would like, if it's something that's interesting. I've never actually played a Kojima title, so you know, please let me keep my gaming cards where they are. But I've never played a Kojima game, but this game is just interesting enough that I might actually pick it up if I have some time. I saw like a 50 hours if you want to just like complete the story, and about 100 hours if you want to do like a completionist run, which I typically do. But yeah, I do not fault Kojima at all for selling this intrigue. I think he's really good at marketing the game, and the game has been intriguing enough to a lot of people that people just want to talk about it more. I'm interested to hear more about the like online feature where you can kind of like leave Dark Souls like echoes for people, or leave a ladder to like for people to cross gaps or something like that. The game just seems interesting, and interesting enough that I might eventually pick it up, but not right now. Unfortunately, I've got a huge back catalog of games that I'm trying to beat before Jedi next week. So, and Pokemon. So this one's kind of playing second fiddle to games from the past and the future. But nothing else came out this week, so I don't know if that means that it's just an unpopular week, or if game publishers were like avoiding Death Stranding. But yeah, the game's out, and if you want to play as Norman Reedus walking around with a baby on your chest, then this could be the game for you. But I don't think that is going to Kojima's game is going to sell a lot. Yeah, I just think that this is going to be a very popular game for the month. It might even beat Star Wars, just because people have kind of been burnt on Star Wars. But we'll have to see how it shakes out at the end of the month. But besides Death Stranding, I have some stuff here, but there's been slim pickings for stuff that's been happening this week in video game news. A lot of stuff was just falling action from BlizzCon last week. But moving right along, PS4 has released, Sony PlayStation has released its top selling titles sold on the PS4 for the month of October. So let's run through them. Top of the list, of course, is Call of Duty, and then I would assume a gigantic gap because number of units or revenue isn't listed. So they just put a top 20 or so listing of the top titles that were sold on PS4. So Call of Duty, followed by Breakpoint, followed by Outer Worlds, which I was really surprised about. I'm glad to see that Outer Worlds is up there. I kind of wanted to see those, flipped. I heard Breakpoint did terribly, so I kind of wanted to see Outer Worlds flip. But Outer Worlds by the time that had probably been done, Outer Worlds had probably only been out like a week. So yeah, so kind of hoping to see Outer Worlds on top of that. Hopefully Outer Worlds sells more than Breakpoint because I don't know. I'm pretty down on Breakpoint. FIFA 20 is coming in at fourth, and Minecraft. I don't know what the resurgence of Minecraft is, what that's about. Tell me about it in the comments below. But yeah, Minecraft is the number 5 top-selling game on PlayStation 4 for the month of October. Moving right along, the Federal Trade Commission has put out a video or a series of videos telling you how to correctly inform your audience if you're an influencer that you have a relationship with the publisher. Like, it is very cut and dry. This video is like, hey, do you want to be an influencer? Do you have a relationship with the brand? You have to tell people about that a lot, like, so they get the point. It's kind of funny. I actually am kind of concerned because I'm fortunate enough to get free games from just friends in the industry. And I'm concerned whether or not FTC is going to be banging on my door to say that I haven't properly informed my audience. All of you people, lovely people watching, be informed that I get free games, and I will be better at informing you that I get free games sometimes. And none of that comes with like a sponsorship or an ad. I've never been paid to play any specific video games, but especially on my stream. But yeah, you have to inform people. I just think it's really interesting because streaming's always been in this like weird murky gray area, and finally the FTC is like, hey, we're tired of you influencers getting away with not telling people that you're a freaking hashtag sponsor. And I think it applies to like Instagram posts as well, which there are definitely Instagram posts where I see from like friends of friends, and it's like, oh, this is me holding a bottle of name brand vodka with a peace sign like, hey, look what I'm doing tonight. And it's like, this is totally an ad. This is a free advertisement, and there's no sponsorship, hashtag sponsored anywhere on there. So yeah, FTC is going to start cracking down on people. So put your hashtag sponsors and your hashtag ads in your stuff and talk about whether or not you got your game for free, because they could be coming for you. Splinter Cell has what did Splinter Cell do? Splinter Cell had a tweet on their Spanish, like Spain Spanish, Twitter account. I'm starting to call these moments like beep moments, and I think of that because of Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk, like, we knew about Cyberpunk in like 2011 or something like that, and then they went dark, and then all of a sudden they just have like, I feel like the first tweet they had was like beep in 2015 saying like, hey, remember us, we're Cyberpunk, we're coming out eventually, start looking for more information. Splinter Cell's kind of in that same vein where it's just a picture of Sam Fisher, and it was posted by their Spanish Twitter account, and they're just kind of like, hey, this is happening. So I'm calling those beep moments. So, hashtag beep moment. But yeah, Splinter Cell could be coming out, but I don't know how that fits into Ubisoft's slate. And Ubisoft is already having a bunch of trouble. Speaking of breaking Breakpoint, Ubisoft's already in a bunch of trouble right now, trying to figure out what they're gonna do. So adding Splinter Cell into all of that craziness, I don't know how that's gonna shake out. Speaking of shaking out, EA has the IP to Skate, their board game, their skateboarding game, Skate, and people were anticipating a fourth title, and that doesn't seem to be the case. Skate, they're letting go of the trademark. I don't quite know how the legalese works out, but it sounds like they're just kind of letting Skate die, or they're putting it out into the ether. I don't quite know how that works out, but they pretty much said, we're not doing anything with Skate anymore, which means that with EA sitting on Skate or getting rid of Skate, and Activision sitting on Tony Hawk, like, we're never going to see a skateboarding video game again. What are we going to do? I don't know. I haven't played like Tony Hawk since, I feel like I played the like Activision remaster, or like the latest version from Activision, for like 5 minutes, and then I put that crap down. Anyway, not to poop on the skateboarding video game genre, but not something I'm interested in at this point. But if you are, I don't know where you're gonna get your kicks. The Jumanji video game is finally out. I have their launch trailer. There'll be a link down to that down below. I don't know what to make of this. It looks like a third person action adventure game. Like, I don't know what to make of this. The game looks really janky. Like, the player movements look like really janky. But yeah, it's like it's got The Rock and Jack Black. It's got all the characters from the most recent Jumanji movie. So, and they had the mobile game that was like a version of Temple Run. This looks like a complete action adventure third person game where you can play as Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So if you want to play as Dwayne The Rock Johnson in Jumanji the video game, you can do that on a console near you today. Speaking of a console near you, new Super Lucky Tale has come to the Switch, which kind of baffled me. I didn't play any of the Lucky games, but I knew that Lucky Tale was a Microsoft exclusive title, and I think it was like their attempt to try and get into like this actiony platformy kind of area, and it's a 3D platformer. But now there's a new one. It's called New Super Lucky Tale, and the game is exclusive to Switch. And I don't know what the history. I did like a little Wikipedia searching on what's going on with this, but yeah, it just looks like this is another Lucky's Tale. If you like the 3D platformer titles, then this could be a game for you, and it is exclusively on the Switch. So Microsoft, I don't know who published it. I didn't wait to the trail card to see who published it, but it's got to be owned by Microsoft somehow. But it's exclusive to the Switch. I don't know. Maybe it's just a tit for tat kind of, Microsoft's trying to have good relations with Switch, and so with Nintendo, and so they took a Microsoft exclusive and put it on the Switch. I don't know, but I'm interested to see what that's all about. Resident Evil and Monster Hunter have had their crossover event. If you want to run around in Monster Hunter, if you're still playing Monster Hunter, good on you. It's a great game. Iceborne is brought more people in, and it's really exciting to see. Resident Evil, Monster Hunter does a bunch of crossover events. The latest one is Resident Evil, and I saw like 10-20 minutes of gameplay. It looks fun. Sometimes they look weird. Like, I think the Geralt model in Monster Hunter Worlds like looked a little off, and like who else did they do? They did Mega Man. I think there was a Mega Man Palico armor or something like that. Yeah, the game, sometimes they hit, sometimes they're misses. This one, jury's not in yet, but it looks interesting. So if you're still playing Monster Hunter, tell me how that Resident Evil crossover event is treating you. A new challenger is approaching. Terry Bogard is in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. He is available now. And this actually comes with like a little little bit of controversy. So in the game, there are other Street Fighter spirits that you can interact with in the game that are being brought in with Terry Bogard, and there, what was it? There's another. There's the one of the Street Fighter fighters. I forget her name right now. Is wearing too skimpy an outfit, and the creative director Saitama, or creator Saitama, actually went on and made a video, and during the video he said, "Oh, this Street Fighter character won't be in the game because Super Smash Bros. Is for good boys and girls." And I just thought, what? Like, it was, I don't know. It was weird. There's a little bit of controversy. Check it out. Tell me what you think about it. But I just thought that was interesting. But if you want to see gameplay of the most recent Super Smash Bros. Character, Terry Bogard, that'll be in a link to that in the description below. And last but certainly not least, the PC manufacturer or PC building company NZXT has come out with its own line of headphones, and they look really nice. They look very light, and I've been kind of on a kick to find smaller headphones because my headphones are pretty big right now. They're pretty bulky, so I'm looking for a smaller set of headphones, something that's light and goes in my head. And these ones look light, and it's a PC manufacturing company that assembles computers specifically for gaming. So I would think that they would have a vested interest in making a good gaming product. So I might trust them over, a Logitech that makes all sorts of accessories and not necessarily focused just specifically on gaming. Not to say that my headphones are crap. I actually really like my headphones, but I kind of want a lighter pair, but I don't want to give up on any of the cool stuff. Anyway, NZXT is making headphones. I'll have a link down below. If you think those look cool, then pick one up. I don't care. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy this content. If you do, follow, like, and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch. Links down below in the description so you can see more great content like this. Thanks again. Hope you have a super day. Hope you have a super weekend. And I hope you have a super day. Bye!